Alright guys, we got another review for you here for Marvel Legends. This of course is the new Iron Man that just came out from the Controller Build-A-Figure wave. A wave which I had originally pre-ordered and then canceled and then started picking up again when I was finding it really cheap. So, you know, take that for what you will. But we have the new Iron Man that's not the Iron Man Mark this or Mark that or Stealth Armor this or whatever it's called. This is just called Iron Man, and even on the back here, all it really says is, Tony Stark resolves to get back to basics, donning a new stripped-down Iron Man armor inspired by his most classic designs. So, yeah, I mean, gold and red, but, like, aren't all his armors inspired by that? I don't know. But anyway, we got this guy here. We're going to go ahead and crack him open and see what we've got inside. Alright, so we've got him out of the package here real quick. Let's take a look at accessories. Of course, first up, we do have a couple of fisted hands here. Look pretty good. We've got a couple of repulsor blasts. You've seen these guys many times. And then, of course, we've got the smoke effects, which you could put around the ankles if you're going to put him in a flight stand and have him look like he's flying or whatever you want to do. But that is it for the accessories. As far as the figure itself goes, you know, it's kind of a cool design as far as just the armor itself, you know, like this is a pretty cool looking Iron Man armor. As far as the sculpt of the figure goes, it's well done. It's not great, but it's well done. I mean, you do have all the little plates and things and details in there under the arms, around the wrists here, on the legs. The feet look pretty cool, nice squared off feet that I like. You got some texturing there on the bottom. I do like these pieces that come up over the thighs and actually cover up the thigh swivel, which is pretty cool. So cool little design there. As far as the sculpt goes, you know, I mean, his face sculpt looks pretty good. You know, nice and Iron Man-like. You know, you've got some detailing there with the kind of plates there on the back of the head, all on the back, on his ass, back of the legs, everywhere else. You've got these pieces here, whether that's, you know, design or repulsors or whatever that's supposed to be there. You know, it looks fine. It's not great. Certainly not the best Iron Man figure I have seen as far as sculpt work goes, but it's fine for what it is. You know, this is a nice kind of comic booky Iron Man looking figure. As far as the paintwork goes, there's really no paint on this outside of, I believe, the black on the face. Nothing else is painted. Everything else, well, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe here on these pieces right here, that could be painted gold over the red plastic. But other than that, I don't think there is anything that is not just colored plastic at this point. Even these pieces you see here, these white pieces that are all over the sides and the front, those are decals. That is not white paint. Those are essentially stickers that are on him. So not a lot of paint on this guy. As far as articulation goes, pretty standard articulation, you know, for Marvel Legends. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. You got bicep swivels, standard wrists and ankles and hips, and, you know, just all that good stuff. As far as his head goes, you can't really look up too much, but a little bit if you want to get him into a flying pose. But, you know, pretty standard stuff there. The only thing I will say is on the shoulders that stood out to me. So he's got these plastic pieces that go over the shoulder, and when you actually bring them up, you can see they dimple up where they are actually connected to that shoulder piece, which isn't good, because that means they're pulling away from the area that they're supposed to be attached to. So you might want to be careful if you're going to have his arms up like this a lot, because you can see there how they've dimpled up. That soft plastic dimples up because it's getting pulled away from where it's actually mounted onto the little shoulder pegs there. So that is something you want to take into consideration. So, you know, all in all, it's a decent sculpt. It's a cool looking Iron Man. You know, articulation is fine. Almost no paint work to speak of, and I am curious how these decaled stickers are going to hold up over time. But it's okay. You know, it's not horrible. It's okay. So next thing we need to do is throw this guy up with some other figures and see how he stacks up to everybody else. Alright, so I thought I'd throw in some other figures that I've got from this wave just to see how this guy stacks up. Of course, we got Quake, we got Speedball, we got US Agent, or the Captain, whatever you want to consider him to be. Of course, we got Thor, and then at the back, just to throw in a larger figure there, of course, we got the Build-A-Figure Ursa Major. And I do like the way this guy fits in as far as just his overall size. I like that he is a little bit taller than the Captain, but still a little bit smaller than Thor. And pretty much bigger than everybody else except for Thor and Ursa Major there at the back. And I think that works well for a guy in a mechanized suit. So I like it. As far as overall, just how he fits in with the group, I think it works. Size works. So there you go. Alright, so let's talk about price here real quick. Now this guy goes for 25 bucks. Okay, pretty much anywhere you're going to go pick him up, Amazon, retail stores, Walmart, Target, whatever it is, he's going to be 25 bucks. So the question is, with $25 for the most part being that kind of new entry-level price into Marvel Legends, is this guy worth it? Honestly, not really. No. And let me explain. You know, okay sculpt, cool design, not very good articulation, okay at best, no paint, and honestly, I don't like the stickers, the decals. I'd rather have paint. And so it just kind of becomes very clear that this is kind of a cutting corners Iron Man. And when there are so many great Iron Man figures out there that you can pick up probably close to that $25 range, whether you find stuff that's coming back in stock on Big Bad Toy Store or whatever it is, whatever toy store you like to shop at, or maybe you do find stuff still sitting at retail somewhere at a Walmart or a Target or even on Amazon or whatever it is, or even on the secondary market like eBay and Mercari. There's a lot of much better Iron Man figures out there than this thing. I mean, there's just a lot of them with better articulation, better sculpt, better paint, better everything. And some will be a little more than this, some will be a little less than this, some will be the same price, but there are better Iron Man figures in just about every way. Yeah, it's kind of cool, but it ain't great. And, you know, it doesn't even come with a Build-A-Figure piece. So even if you wanted to complete controller, like, you can just pass on this guy. So really, unless you find him cheap and maybe just want another Iron Man to add to your shelf, which is definitely where I sit because I did get him cheap. I picked him up for 20 bucks instead of 25. And I have an Iron Man shelf that I just wanted to throw another Iron Man on. Really, he's kind of a pass, I'll be honest. I mean, he's okay at best. But there are better ways to spend your $25 right now, even if you want a good Iron Man figure. So look, I mean, I've got him, so, you know, how much of a hypocrite am I going to be by sitting here and trying to tell you not to buy him? I mean, look, if you want him, go buy him. Cool. And, you know, it is kind of a cool design, but other than that, there's nothing that stands out about this figure for me personally, so I'm going to throw him on my shelf with the rest of the Iron Man and just kind of leave it at that. And I'll probably almost never think about him again. And that's kind of where I fall on this. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you later.